You guys also requested some exponent problems, so we'll do a couple exponent problems here. Similar to what you might see on the test, you guys have a few on the review, but we'll go through a couple right now. How about we have 2x to the negative third, y to the fourth, all raised to the negative second power. Okay. Well, if it's all raised to the negative second power, a lot of times people want to distribute the exponents in, and then they make a mistake when they distribute it to this number right here. So we're going to try and avoid that mistake. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this to the denominator, so I'm going to have 1 over, parentheses, 2x to the negative third, y to the fourth, all raised to the positive second now that I've moved it to the denominator. So the sign on the outside exponent changes when I've moved this entire thing to the denominator. This exponent does not change, however. It's only the one on the outside. A lot of people think, oh, this is negative, so it should become positive. Then you'd have to change this and everything. It's just the outside one. Now we can distribute that exponent too. So we're going to have 1 over 2 squared is 4. X to the negative third squared would be x to the negative sixth. Then we'll have y to the eighth. And I'm going to take this x to the negative sixth and move it to the numerator. That 4 stays put. It's not attached to that x to the negative sixth as much as it likes that x to the negative sixth. You know, they've been seeing each other for a while, but it's time for x to the negative sixth to take a break from this 4 here and move to the numerator, move on with his life. So we're going to have x to the sixth over 4y to the eighth. And that will be my final answer. Let's try another one. Let's say, how about we go with one with a fraction? So let's say we have 3x to the negative second, y to the sixth, over 6x to the fourth, y squared. And we'll raise all of this to the negative third power. That's going to be a doozy, let me tell you what. But I think you guys can handle it. First thing I like to do on these exponent problems is simplify inside the parentheses. Then I'll deal with that negative exponent. So I'm going to have my blank fraction with that negative 3 outside. Well, 3 over 6, that reduces to 1/2. X to the negative second over x to the fourth. Well, 4 is my larger exponent, and 4 minus negative 2 gives me positive 6. 4 minus negative 2 gives me positive 6. Okay, so I'm going to get x to the sixth in the denominator because that's where my larger exponent was. Then I have y to the sixth over y squared. 6 is larger than 2. 6 minus 2 is 4, so I get y to the fourth in the numerator. I've simplified all I can. Let's go for the flip and switch. So we're going to flip everything inside, and we'll raise it to the positive third. So I'm going to have 2x to the sixth in the numerator, 1y to the fourth, which is y to the fourth in the denominator. And now I can go ahead and distribute this cubed to all the parts. So 2 cubed is 8. X to the sixth raised to the third would give me x to the 18th, all over y to the fourth raised to the third, that would be y to the 12th. And I am done. Some of you may wonder, well, what would happen if it were just this same exact problem here, but raised to the positive third? You know what? That's an excellent question because you may see something like that on your test. Let's do that. So if we have just 3x to the negative second, y to the sixth, over 6x to the fourth, y squared, raised to the positive third. Well, once again, we can simplify inside. So I have my 1/2. Now I'm going to deal with my x's. I have x to the negative second over x to the fourth. Well, I'm going to take the larger exponent, which is 4, and subtract the smaller one, which is negative 2. So 4 minus negative 2 once again is 6. So I get x to the sixth down here. And then I have y to the sixth over y squared, which gives me y to the fourth. And that's all raised to the positive third. So now I distribute that in. I get y to the 12th over 8x to the 18th. So I would just have the reciprocal of the one that I got before. But you can do either one. This first one just has an added bonus of fun with the flip and switch. And we all love that. We all love extra math. One more problem I want to do with you guys. This is something similar to what you saw in the review. There's a problem with a fraction where you end up having a negative exponent on an integer. So let's say we have a squared b to the fourth c to the negative third over 3 to the negative second power a b to the second c to the fifth. And we're asked to simplify this. So there's a bit to do here. But let's take it one step at a time. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to deal with this 3 to the negative 2 here. Well, 3 to the negative 2 can be moved up to the numerator and become 3 to the positive 2, which we know is 9. So let's make that 9. Next thing I want to deal with these a's. A to the second over a, well, that'd be a to the first. So I'd have 2 minus 1 is 1, so I just get a in the numerator. I have b to the fourth over b squared, so 4 minus 2 gives me 2, so I get b squared. And then I have c to the negative third over c to the fifth. Well, 5 is the larger one, so 5 minus negative 3 gives me 8. So I get c to the eighth in the denominator, and I am all set with my answer. 9ab squared over c to the eighth. So if you come across a negative exponent in your review or your test, you should be able to handle it if you watch this video, because you're awesome.